guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today I wanted to do an updated bottle video for you guys, and so I have a few different of our favorite bottles here. I have Dr. Brown bottles, Tommee Tippee bottles, and an Avent bottle. My first tip before I even get into any of the bottles is I highly recommend that you buy a colic bottle. Whether your baby has colic or not, it doesn't matter. Colic bottles are designed to prevent less airflow from getting to your baby, causing colic, upset stomach, the list goes on and on. So therefore I highly recommend, even if your baby doesn't have colic, go ahead and get some anti-colic bottles. It will definitely benefit you in the long run. So my next big tip would be, do not, if you haven't had your baby yet, do not go out and buy a bunch of bottles. Well, you can go ahead and buy a bunch of different bottles. I would not recommend going and getting this huge gift set of bottles because you just know you're gonna love them, blah blah blah. Chances are your baby's not gonna love them. I have done that twice now. With our first son, we went out and bought a whole bunch of Tommee Tippee bottles, and he ended up hating them. So we ended up having to switch to the Dr. Brown bottles. With our second, we just got lucky and he loved the Dr. Brown bottles. Fast forward to our third, we got a bunch of Dr. Brown bottles and he hated them and loved the Tommee Tippee bottles. So it just shows you that you can't, you know, not all babies are the same. They're all not gonna like the same thing. So I will go ahead and start off with the Dr. Brown bottles. They do have two different bottles now. They have the original Dr. Brown bottles. I think they come in like blue and pink too. And they now have these Dr. Brown Options bottles. I will definitely say out of the two, I highly recommend the original bottles. I tried using these with Cronin and I just don't really like them. I feel like they leak too much. I definitely recommend these so much better. So with the Dr. Brown bottle, these are what they look like. If you, sorry, this one's like kind of old. If you, can you tell it's well used? Hunter loved this bottle. I ended up just finding one of these like that we had from when we moved, so. Anyways, so here's the bottle. I do like these because they do hold 8 ounces. You can buy the shorter ones. They do come in 4 ounces as well. I believe they're 4 ounces. They might be 5. I think it's 4. And they just have these 2 parts. So this is the vent system right here. All of these bottles, disclaimer, all of these bottles come with caps and stuff like that too, but I never seem to be able to keep them, so I don't have the caps to show you, I'm sorry. But I know these ones come with a disc, so you can not have it leak everywhere when you're like traveling or something like that, and it also comes with a lid. But anyways, these ones you cannot use without this insert right here. And I will get into this original Dr. Brown bottle. You cannot use without this insert right here. You have to have this insert in order to use this bottle. So it's just these 2 parts. I will say that you have to be really careful with these silicone ones. Sometimes they end up getting mold inside of them if you don't watch them very good. They come with a brush too that you just put inside there and clean it very well. But anyways, I really liked these bottles. Our son really liked them. We never got past a stage 1 nipple with them. But yeah, I really do love these bottles. However, our first and second son loved these bottles. Our third one did not, and I think it's because he breastfed the longest out of any of them. So they got accustomed to this nipple fairly early, because our first son we only breastfed for a week. Our second son only 2 days because my milk dried up. And our son breastfed for 3 weeks, and I think that has a lot to do with it, why he preferred the Tommee Tippee ones over the Dr. Brown bottles. And when I first was buying bottles before I knew anything about bottles and I was a first-time mom, I bought these just because I thought they better resembled an actual nipple, and turns out they like these. So, but these are really good bottles. They are a little pricey. I think you can get a 3-piece set for like 20 bucks, $16.99, something like that. But anyways, so these were the original Dr. Brown bottles. So these are their new Dr. Brown Options bottles, which means, and they have a little bit of a different, you can tell the nipples are, or the nipple covers are a little different, and the colors of the inserts are different as well. So anyways, the options bottles means that this piece in here does not have to go in there if you do not want to use it. So if they get older and they don't have reflux, colic, whatever like that, they don't need it in there, you don't have to use it without it. You can use it without the vent system now. And it's just the same vent system, so 2 pieces. This one looks a little bit different. I'll show. They do look a little bit different now if you compare the 2, but they still have the same 2 holes and a hole down there. So anyways, this green one just snaps onto this, but you do not have to put this inside of the bottle if you do not want to, but otherwise it just slides in there like that. And let me get the correct nipple. I will say though that the pieces and parts are interchangeable. You can use this nipple and this vent system on the, if you have old Dr. Brown bottles, you can use them on the new ones the same. They're the exact same bottles at the bottom. Those look identical. You can't even tell them apart. The same 8 ounces. So if you had to buy the 2, in my opinion, I would recommend getting these ones, even though I know you can use these without the vent system in there. Even with the vent system, these ones leak a lot more than these do. I don't know why. I think it's the difference in the pieces that go at the top of these vents. I really don't know why they do. So I definitely recommend this one. Next are our Tommee Tippee bottles. This is just a regular Tommee Tippee bottle. So all there is just the bottle, which is 9 ounces, and the nipple itself right here. And this is just a stage 1 nipple. And so they are just pretty self-explanatory. They go like this. I noticed that with these regular bottles, because these ones are not colic bottles, they're just regular Tommee Tippee bottles, the flow comes out way too fast and our baby got way too much air with them. So if you notice with these ones, they have a flat nipple, whereas the other ones kind of have a rounded nipple. So these ones, I'm sure if our baby gets older, he can start using them. But for right now, they're just too much flow and they don't prevent enough air from getting inside of him. He got really gassy and really upset. So which brings us to our current bottles that we use are these Tommee Tippee Anti-colic ones. And so they have a few more pieces. Well, they have 1 more piece than the Dr. Brown bottles. However, they do hold 9 ounces. And here's the nipple, just like that. So much easier to clean. And this piece is actually like really hard. I would call it plastic. And this one just has the 1 hole on the side right there and just the opening at the bottom. And then it attaches to this piece right here. And you do need this piece at the bottom. So it goes that onto here. And then this piece goes right onto there like that. So pretty simple to assemble. However, I will let you know that babe, please stop. I will let you know that getting these out of the box, you have to check to make sure that these are opened at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a opening at the bottom. And 2 out of the 9 that we have bought weren't open, so we did have to slice it open at the bottom. And they are purple instead of the standard black. So anyways, you just put this inside of here and put the lid on it. And voila! We love these bottles. Our baby currently loves these bottles. I think they're about the same price as the Dr. Brown bottles are. So no difference there. But they do have a more realistic nipple to them. And I think that's why he likes them so much. The only complaint I have with these bottles is if he sucks too hard on it, the nipple ends up going inside of there while he's eating. So that's the only thing, because the surface area is so big, it's a little flimsy right in there. But other than that, I really like these bottles and we've had nothing but good luck with them. So the only thing I will say about these ones is that if your baby, well, not this one because you could probably do it, but if your baby has reflux and needs rice added to their bottle, you cannot add it to this, or at least I could never get it to work. They just get clogged up, it gets stuck in the vent, it doesn't really work. They do make Y-shaped nipples for this because for reflux, but I would not recommend this bottle for that. And I also would not recommend this bottle because the same thing, it would get stuck in there. They do make Tommee Tippee bottles, regular Tommee Tippee bottles for reflux. I think they're called their thicker liquid bottles or something like that, and they actually are 11 ounces instead of 9 ounces. But the nipples are so big on them, if you just like tip it over, it just like pours out. So I do not recommend those ones either, which brings me to why we have our last bottle here. I do not like Avent bottles for regular feeding. I don't know why. They're colicky bottles too, but they're just not the best in my opinion. However, Avent does make the best bottles if your baby has reflux and needs added cereal to their bottle. They have what they would call a variable flow nipple. And so what it does is, if you can see it, it has, so there's 2 knobs right there. There's 1 knob right here, and there's a level 3 knob right here. So depending on which way you turn it, the nipple either gets bigger or smaller. So 1 being the lowest setting and 3 being the highest setting. So if your baby does need added cereal to their bottle for reflux, I would highly recommend this bottle right here. That's why we only have 1 of them. Otherwise, for regular feedings, I do not like this bottle. And I have not seen a huge difference in the new bottles versus the old Avent bottles. I like them equally the same. This one just looks more like a breast nipple, I feel like, than the original ones, which were kind of more squared off like this one. But yeah, I do like these for that. I would say that they make the best one, hands down. So I can't really tell you whether or not I like the Tommee Tippee bottle better than the Dr. Brown bottle, because at each point in each of my kids' life, I would tell you a different bottle. So for our first 2, I would definitely have told you this is the #1 choice. They loved this bottle, it was amazing. However, with our 3rd, I would tell you that this is the best. So I would definitely recommend either one of these bottles. They work amazing. I love them both. This one is a little harder to clean, but it is easier to put in places, such as like spots on a diaper bag or something like that. This fits so much better. This one is a little chunk-a-munk, so it is harder to put in there. It's nice that it has this little indent because it is kind of awkward to hold. However, it has a more realistic nipple, which I like, especially if you are breastfeeding and pumping and you can put it into a bottle. I would highly recommend this bottle over this one because, you know, that's not, this one's definitely more natural than this one. Either way, you cannot go wrong with one of these bottles. Anti-colic bottles are the best, so either one of these I highly recommend for that. It's just a matter of preference to your baby which one they like better. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye guys. Is he not doing the Burt Reynolds pose right now? Just need to be on a rug.